Hey, this is Rick from Hiking Emergency Beacon, and I had a question this week from one of my subscribers, and they were asking about how you navigate with the Garmin inReach Mini without syncing to your smartphone. And I had never done that before, so I'm out here today to test that. But before we get into that, please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted as soon as I put out new videos. What I'm going to do today on this is I do have my smartphone synced, by the way, but I'm not going to be looking at it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to navigate by the Garmin inReach Mini just by itself. Now, when I was doing some research on it, what I saw was, one, you can navigate by waypoints, and you got to remember, when you navigate by waypoints, you're going to have to navigate around obstacles, whether it be a river, a lake, a cliff, whatever it might be. The navigating by waypoint is going to send you directly to it, and you can't always do that, especially here in Colorado and the Rockies. There's another way to navigate, and that's by route. And so that's what I'm really curious about. Is I've laid out a route on this trail, and what's nice about the Garmin inReach products is you can go on to the map page on your site, on your account, and you can set the map up and set waypoints up ahead of time, and then you can then sync to the device, and then it shows up. So what I did yesterday is I set up the route, and I'm out here today with that route in place, and I'm going to try navigating by the route. So I will be stopping along the way, getting some video showing you how it works, or if it does work or doesn't. Either way, I'm going to make this video and let you know if it does work, if you can navigate without your phone, because we all know that sometimes, just technology, you may lose your Bluetooth connection, the sync between the phone and the satellite messenger, or your battery may go out on your phone. So there's all kinds of reasons why it may not work. So I'm going to show you today if it does. So stick with me to the end, and I'll let you know exactly what happens. Let's start this test right now, and I'm at the beginning of the trailhead, and you can see the home screen on the Garmin inReach Mini. So what I'm going to do right here, and I am going to hit this OK button on the top right, and there's different things you can do. So I'm going to scroll down to navigate. Now there's mark waypoint. I'm not doing that. I want to navigate. So I hit OK again. I can navigate to a waypoint, or I can navigate to routes. So that's what I really want to do right here. So change sort order, we're going to look for it. Well, here it is, Dawson's Butte. So I'm going to select that, and let's see if anything happens. Okay, so I hit navigate, and you can see right here it says there's two arrows, says walk 0.7 miles, and it's actually pointing me to the first waypoint. Now that's a Dawson's Waypoint 1. I had put that in earlier. That's really not how I want to navigate. I was thinking it was going to send it to, basically by following the route. That does not seem to be the case right now. So again, this is a test. So it may not be that it follows the route. You may have to put waypoints down along a route, and that may be the case. So we're going to go out and hike this and just see what happens, and I'll give you an update later on the trail. All right, it's really hard to see. I'll take another screenshot here, but it's telling me to get moving. It's not showing me anything. But when I'm walking, I'll take a video with my phone and show you what I'm seeing. But it's telling me looks like it's telling me to follow the route. It's not really showing it here at all. Well, it's not. So let me take some video with my phone as I'm on the route. Okay, I've got to show you this. I'm going to switch over to the Garmin inReach or the EarthMate app. I hope you can see it on the screen. When I go to the EarthMate app, see the orange line? It is following the route. It's telling me the closest, like when I put the points down, basically there were waypoints like that to mark the trail. It's showing the actual route. It is navigating by the route. Now I'm not using this. I'm double checking it to see if it works. But right now it's pointing me, like when I go, let me show you the actual inReach, the Garmin inReach Mini, what it's telling me. It's probably not going to tell me anything right now because I'm standing still. When I stand still, it says, hey, get moving. Let me show you though real quick. So I'm at the trailhead here, and The trail I'm going to go on is to the right, and my Garmin inReach Mini on the actual device is showing me to go to that direction. So far it's accurate. I actually just came from this area where I was doing my intro videos about this navigation. So far so good. Generally it's it's not as good as having a map, but it's giving me good information so far. So I'll give you another heads up later on the trail. All right, little update here. This is what I was hoping would happen. It says, now it's pointing to the Dawson's Butte Waypoint 1, and it's pointing to it 0.7 miles away, but I don't think it's following the route, so the actual trail. So see, now it goes back to, like, I guess it's saying start walking, because I'm not moving. But when I do move, it comes up with an arrow pointing to it. So I'll keep taking videos along the way and show you what happens. So yeah, it's pointing me right down the trail. You can see right there. Pretty nice. So here's where the path splits in a couple of places, and my satellite messenger is on the device itself, is pointing me to the right, not to the left. So it is following the route, just to let you know that's another point of it being accurate on the trail. All right, the navigation on the Garmin inReach as a standalone device on this Garmin inReach Mini does seem to be working. I mean, I know it is. See this trail I'm on right here, it's pointing down the trail. And that's following the route, because the waypoint is actually that direction. So it's not pointing to the waypoint. It does say the way it's showing the next waypoint that's coming up, but it's pointing down the path. Great news. It actually works without syncing to your smartphone. Okay, so we just hit the Dawson's Butte Waypoint 1. It's telling us the Waypoint 3 is 1.4 miles away. It's telling me to get moving right now, but it accurately guided me to Waypoint 1 along the trail. It was guiding me along the trail and not actually to the waypoint. I think one of the things I'm going to do in the future is I'm going to take waypoints off of a trail and just have the route, and just make sure that it's actually going by the route, not waypoints, since there won't be any waypoints to locate. But right now I can tell you it's not pointing to the waypoint, it's pointing to the route. And I'll show you on the screen here again as I walk this route, and you need to walk it in the order you set it up as, but that's kind of not true actually. It's not true, because when you select navigate, you can select navigate by reverse route, so you can go either direction. A lot of great things about the Garmin inReach Mini, and I'll put a screenshot up here showing you how, as you walk it, it removes the orange trail mark, so that you can see where you're heading and where you've left. So for some reason it stopped showing me the direction on the trail. It's saying 0.5 miles. It's basically, it's at the home screen. Gonna keep trying to figure this out here, but it was showing me the direction along the trail just like a minute ago. Now it's switched. Not sure why. I'm playing with it though. We'll see. So it had stopped showing me the arrow and like just a waypoint home screen showing me some basic information, and I couldn't get back to this. So I stopped navigating and then started navigating again, and it went back to the arrow following the route. So interesting. I wasn't sure, I couldn't figure out how to get it off of that home screen where it was just showing general information, but when I stopped navigating and started again, seemed to take care of that. I'll keep letting you know as I find things out on the trail. All right, I'm going to show you how this actually is working following the route and not the waypoint. Right now it's saying waypoint 3, and it's 447 feet away, but waypoint 3 is directly off to my left, that way. The arrow is pointing actually down the trail where the routes, where I set the route up and where it says it is. Now there's a switchback here, so I'm going to show you on the switchback how it's going to continue following the trail and will not point to the waypoint. Now this did work, and it's showing you basically following the trail, and as I've gone through the switchback, but I'm too close. I'm 226 feet away from the waypoint, and I'm too close to really make me happy with this being something that I can really show you definitely. So after I go past this waypoint, and then there's a half mile or so between the next one, that'll be more obvious when I do a switchback, and you'll be able to see it's actually following the trail, the route, and not the waypoint. So I'm going to my next waypoint in the forest, half mile away. It's showing me going right down the trail. There is a switchback here. So again, the waypoint is actually off to my left. So it's not following waypoint, it's following the route. And after I go past the switchback, I'll show you it's still following the route. Okay, I've just gone around the corner and the switchback. I'm now going pretty much west. The waypoint I'm going to in the forest is almost 90 degrees to my right. And you can see the arrow is pointing almost directly west to the route and not out through the woods to the forest waypoint. This has been my third test of doing this. I think it proves very well. Proves to me that it actually works and it follows the route, not the waypoint. Again, I'm going to leave screenshots up because I'm actually watching it on my EarthMate app also to prove what it's doing. And so it's a real good success. Had this thing for Garmin inReach Mini for about a year and did not know that you can navigate this well off the device itself without having it sync to your phone. Hey, I just want to stop on this hike and take a minute to tell you that right now I'm testing out the Garmin inReach Mini navigation right here as a standalone device, not with the EarthMate app or sync to your phone. This here is a Spot Gen 4, testing it out. It's brand new for me, and I tested it already. It works really well. And just testing it one more time on this 5-mile loop here at the Dawson's Butte Ranch Open Space Trail. But I just want to let you know, check in the description down below. I have all kinds of reviews and comparisons of other satellite messengers on my website and on this YouTube channel for you to look at, learn, you really look at how it works in the field, because I not only review them and compare them, but I take them out on extensive field tests and make sure they work as far as communicating, whether it's a one-way or a two-way messenger, how they navigate, what the maps look like, and weather, if it has weather, what kind of weather forecast it gives you. So I go into a lot of detail. So check the description below, and you'll see links to other messengers here and on my website. Okay, so I stopped navigating by route, and the trail is right up here. I'm pointing right at the trail. But now I'm navigating by waypoint. I wanted to show you the two different types. In this case right here, I am walking towards the trail here, and it is like 90 degrees off of where the route is at. You can see, it messes up a little bit here and there because there's a bunch of trees around. But here I'm getting on the trail. Right here you can see. So in this case, it's going to point right at where I put, there's a picnic table, and I called Dawson's Picnic. And so no matter what I do, it's going to point right at that picnic table. If I go backwards, it should point left now, here in a second. Give it time to communicate with the satellites. Yeah, there we go. See, now it's pointing to my left, back behind me, where the picnic table's at. What you gotta be worried about or careful on this is obstacles. You're gonna have to navigate with common sense, follow a trail or good places where you can walk. There might be a river, cliff, lake or something, and you can't go right to the waypoint. What I like about the route is you lay the route out in advance and you follow the route, and it follows it for you. But sometimes you may be out and about, somebody gives you a waypoint or you set a waypoint and you're not at home where you can set a route up. So in that case, you're going to follow a waypoint. You could put several waypoints up and follow what you think is along the path and do it that way rather than just one way off in the distance. That's probably what I do, set multiple waypoints. But anyway, I'm just going to show you what this is like up here at the trailhead. We'll wrap this up, wrap up this review of the navigation with the Garmin inReach Mini on the device itself without being synced to the cell phone. or smartphone. Well, let's wrap up this navigation of the Garmin inReach Mini right here. I was asked by a subscriber, as I mentioned earlier from the YouTube channel, to see what it's like to navigate on the device itself without being synced to my phone, where you can't see a map. And he wasn't sure you could do it. So I double checked it and I did a little research. And there's two ways to navigate, one by Waypoint and one by route. I started out this 5-mile hike, and it's a loop hike. I started it out and I started navigating by route. And I noticed right away it looked like it was following the route and not a waypoint. There were 3 different tests I tried where there's these switchbacks, and the waypoint was off to my right or left like 90 degrees. And in all 3 cases, it always was pointing to the trail and not the waypoint. And then I was able to look on my Earthmate app, because I did have it with me and I do have self-service out here. And I was able to look and see that there was an orange path that it put up. And after you were traveling that path, and behind it went back to the color path you created in the map. And I had made mine yellow. So ahead of me was orange, and behind me was yellow. And you could see it looked like it was working really well. So after about 3/4 of the hike, I switched it and I turned off navigation for the route and I turned on navigation for waypoint. And you can see here on the screenshots, it definitely goes directly to the my waypoint. I turned different directions and it would not follow the trail or route. It was going directly to the waypoint. And as I mentioned in a previous comment, you do have to be careful. You have to navigate around obstacles. So it's not my favorite way to navigate. So I switched it back to route here towards the end. I've only got about a half mile before I get back to the trailhead. And it's navigating by route once again, and it works extremely well. And as long as you place your route down accurately, it'll follow your route and not a waypoint. So the only time this will be a problem is, you have to set your map up ahead of time at home. And if you don't do that, you cannot create a route on the trail. And if I'm wrong, please correct me, leave a comment below. And I'll do a little research to make sure that that is a correct statement. If you're out and about and you want to set waypoints, you can set waypoints along the way. Maybe you want to get 5 miles away. Well, you don't have to navigate directly to that waypoint. If you know there's a river or a lake or a ravine cliff or something, you can set waypoints up along the route to navigate to those to help you navigate around the obstacles. But again, this was a really great day for researching and using this Garmin inReach Mini, and I'm really happy that one of my subscribers mentioned that and asked me to look at it, because I had not done it before in over a year. But it works really well. I can't highly recommend the Garmin inReach Mini enough. It does cost a little bit of money, but with the maps and syncing to your phone and weather, it is one of the best devices on the market, and it is my favorite satellite messenger. Thank you for joining me on Hiking Emergency Beacon, and please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notification so you'll be alerted as soon as I put out new videos here on the YouTube channel and on my website.